Nah, I got something to prove and I ain't never gonna give up. Plenty of juice and I ain't never gonna waste it. Something to do and I ain't never wanna quit it. So come on, get a little bit, I know you wanna play with it.
Coming to you from Studio Iguana Monk down in the Big Dirty, it's the Twisted Pop Podcast, where we explore what it means to be a working artist living in the real world. Please welcome your hosts, Larry Lines and Troy Winston.
That one started. All right.
So video?
Yeah.
Check. This is it.
This is it. This is the Twisted Pop Podcast, episode 28.
I'm Troy Winscott.
I'm Larry Lines. And I don't know much about this interview.
No, because we didn't do it.
No, we didn't do it. We have a guest interviewer, which this one was recorded a long time ago, just like the Duke Hunter one. So.
Yeah, so check that out.
Oh, yeah. This one is DeSanti. So Aaron Trum in Albuquerque interviewing DeSanti, who is a guitarist.
Yes, and it sounds like it's the beginning of a good interview from what we heard.
Yeah. We got far enough, or at least I got far enough into it. There's like some kind of near-death experience. I haven't gotten quite all the way through, but it sounds like fun.
All right, there you go.
The end. All right.
Okay, this is Aaron J. Trum, and we're here with the Twisted Pop Podcast with DeSanti Nava, who is this sick guitarist that I play with sometimes, and we're going to have a conversation with him, like we do on this little podcast. Hi, DeSanti.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, it's so good. So good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Staying busy.
Nice. How's the band?
Band is staying busy. Got 2 gigs this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
I see on Facebook, I'm constantly seeing postings that you guys are playing, and then that you're playing, and then that you're playing with the trio and all of this stuff. You're super busy.
Very busy. The trio is starting to get busier, so that's
Nice.
pretty cool.
So, is that how you make it work? You just constantly going busy?
The busier I am, the better. Music is my happy place.
Nice. Let's talk about that. That's what I usually start with. I don't know what Larry does. I don't even listen to this podcast. Fuck you guys. Just kidding. I do. I actually do. It's really good. There was some great interviews the other week. But I guess, what's your story? How did you get into music? Where'd you come from? Tell us everything that you want to tell us.
Well, okay. My dad played guitar. My uncle played guitar. My aunts played mandolin. And my other uncle played the guitarron.
Nice.
So we were at somebody's house every weekend listening to music.
Nice.
And then as we got bigger, my cousins started playing guitar. And I thought, well, I want to play too.
Nice.
So my brother went off to the Navy, and he used to write home to me with guitar lessons. This is a C chord. This is a G chord.
Nice.
And that's how I started to learn.
Nice. And how long ago is that? Unless it's a secret.
Ooh, boy. I'm going to say I was in 3rd grade. So what would that be? 40 plus years ago?
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No wonder you're so good at it. So,
Thank you.
yeah, I know that you talk a lot about, and I don't know how much of this story you want to tell, but you talk a lot about, on Facebook, about music being healing. I remember you shared, you shared pictures in a hospital. I don't know exactly what the story was there, and you don't have to tell any of it if you don't want. I'm kind of way too open about my crazy health stories. But it's interesting because you you seem to have music as really is your healing thing, not just, oh, healing is music is great, but you really like, this is how I heal, man.
It is. It's my happy place. It's the place where I can go away.
Yeah.
It's my escape. You can say anything you want with music. So the time I was in the hospital, I was having a surgery done.
Yeah.
And they were giving me morphine. And little did I know I was going to have a bad reaction to it.
Oh.
So I'm trying to tell Cece, my wife, something's not right, but I can't breathe. I can't get any air. And she's looking at me like, what's going on? And I finally was able to tell her I can see a sunrise like I have never seen before. And I want to go there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and she was like, well, before I even said that, she open your eyes, fucker.
Yeah. That's what I like.
So, so we were, they got me help, and then I was able to talk a little bit, and that's when I told her I can see this sunrise, and I want to go there. And after they got me a little more stable, I was able to tell her that I saw my dad, and my dad was talking to me.
Crazy.
And he told me to run with each note and to heal with each note. Run to the music.
Oh, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That makes sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's messed up that happened. But it's also sort of, I don't know, good. I mean, like it's just that magic.
Right. It was a trip, but it's how do you say it? The lesson you take with it is good.
Yeah, I mean, you survive for a reason, I think.
I agree.
I like to think.
I agree. Yeah.
And then you have this sort of, I don't know if it's a sense of purpose or not, but it does seem like, and I had, people know, I think, that I had a similar scenario. It wasn't quite as weird. But, I had the lung transplant, and it's like, after that, you're like, I don't know why I would live any other way than what I need to and what I'm called to do, like, I could have died if I was just going to not live, right?
Right.
You could have gone there. You could have gone to the sunset. Might have been cool. Might have been nice. But apparently your dad was like, nah, it's not time, dude.
Yeah. You're not done.
Nice. So now you're playing guitar, like, and seriously, like, all the time. And I'll just tell the people, like, DeSanti is really versatile. So, you'll go to a bar and there he'll be by himself playing this flamenco stuff. And then, like, or somebody will have a theme and he'll just learn a bunch of songs in that style. Or he also is the leader of a band, and I don't know what the name of the band is. Underground Cadence, but I don't know what you would call it, like a bar band or something, but it's kind of a hot shit bar band, and they do all the stuff. They have like insane repertoire of, hundreds of songs that they can play, and some originals, right, that you play,
right,
and I sung with them very early on. I sung with you guys. I think I've sung with you twice. And then I've sung with you once, just me and you, an acoustic set. And the first time I sung with you, you were really good. And then the second time I sung with you, you were better. And then I saw you like, I don't know, 6 months later, a year, I lose track, at the gazebo downtown outside, and you were like twice as good as that. Like you just keep going up, right?
Thank you.
And so it's interesting that you're just making that go. And I guess my next question is, what have you been a pro all your life? Did you have day jobs? did your scenario change a whole lot after the Crazy Sunset thing, or, what's your deal?
Well, let's see, back to high school bands.
Nice.
Then I kind of got away from it. Just the party was, partied a lot. Kind of got away from music a little bit.
Yeah.
But I met some friends. They were in a band and they were like, come join.
Nice. And
I played with them for probably about 15 years.
Wow.
And I learned a lot about gigging. They taught me a lot.
Nice.
And then from there, I just kind of went out on my own. And it's kind of evolved. The flamenco music, just something I've always liked and studied. But when Cece heard I could play it, she's like, you're going to go play it. People should hear that.
She kind of acts as your manager.
She does.
And that's great, because you need somebody that's like, hey.
She does. Her idea is that she does that so I can focus on playing music. So that makes me very lucky.
Yeah, that is lucky, and it's something to be grateful for. She does a good job with it,
She does.
And you're able to be out. I mean, I don't know, you play almost every day, right? Pretty much?
I practice every day.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how often do you do a gig?
Let's see. That's a good question. I know as of this year, from what she had counted, I believe I was at 150 gigs this year.
Let's see. It's November. Wow. That's a lot.
And I've got maybe 5, 6, 7 more coming up.
That's awesome. I mean, that's how you do it. And it works. And you're making, some money, I assume.
I make a little bit of money, yeah.
You're not having to work at Starbucks.
Right.
That I know of.
Well, retirement helps too. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
No, but that's how you do it. You find some way to make it work.
For sure.
And then you do the thing. That's awesome. So let me see, I feel like asking you, I guess what your favorite, gigs are, or, because you do play so many types of music, and, which ones give you the most joy?
That's hard to pinpoint.
Or maybe it's just a different kind of thing every time. Like, you have this kind of joy and that kind of joy, and, like that.
I do like the rock and roll, electric. I love it.
Yeah.
But then you get into classical, flamenco. The challenge in itself.
Yeah.
Is
it hard?
Great.
Is it hard to I've seen you doing those thematic gigs. And I forget the last one. What was the last one about? Oh God. It sounded like it was hard. I mean, just is it hard for you to or to learn all that new stuff, so quickly, or are you just experienced to where you just, yeah, I got it?
Usually I can pick it up and just learn it, and depending on what it is, it'll stay with me.
Nice.
There are some songs, though, that if I don't practice them all the time, I'll lose it.
Yeah, I mean, that's familiar.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
But it's, for the most part of my training back when I got out of high school, I figured I should take lessons for real. And I took lessons with a guy by the name of Craig Dell. Awesome guitarist. He studied in Spain.
Nice.
He taught me how to read music. He gave me ear training.
Nice.
He made me write out my own scales.
Wow.
He taught me a lot. So ear training from him, that's ideal. How to break down a song, how to do everything like that. So nice. I got lucky.
Nice. So you're good at that. You know how to learn, which is key for a professional, I think, especially for a playing professional. Maybe what I do is not necessarily, I don't have to learn songs. Well, I do, because if I'm going to sing them, I need to know them.
Right.
But, I'm always impressed by actual musicians. You know, when I'm out in the industry, you know, out in LA doing that conference or something, and somebody says, well, what do you do? You know, my answer is artist, you know, because in that world, you got the artist, which is, you know, like the act, the face,
Right.
probably the lead singer, right? The name. And then you got like actual musicians, you know, who actually play really well, right? And then you got
Right.
writers and whatnot. So I always say artist. And even out in the world, I think I might not keep saying I'm a musician, because they go, what do you play? And I say, well, I suck a little at the piano, and, you know, and, but it's like I'm always like in awe of people like you who can pick up an instrument and actually master it, you know, and do things like, oh yeah, we're gonna learn these songs, and like, oh yeah, and especially guitar, because it's just like you're there all blue, 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 and I say, you know, you've been in the studio with me, and you know, I say I need this and that, and you're like blue, 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 and I'm like, I mean, I can, like, I understand how to do the E chord on a guitar, which is like the easiest thing. And I can't even, like, they always say it's easy to learn guitar. I'm like, not for me. And you guys are just like, you know, and I see you on stage, you got all these licks, and it's insane. It's amazing.
I appreciate that.
Hat tip to that.
I appreciate that. And I think you're pretty good on the keyboards.
Well,
That's not...
try not to. I'm learning, you know, that you should talk about yourself in an empowering way. You know, instead of always, you know, downplaying, you know, that gets into you. But, you know, of course you don't want to try to be a bunch of cocky, I guess.
Right.
Yeah,
We're our worst critics,
yeah,
too.
that's
so.
true. Always. Which kind of makes me think of another question, which is, do you get scared? Do you get stage fright, especially if something's new? Or is that just not even a thing?
I get stage fright, but I have a ritual that I do
Nice.
every chance I get.
Nice.
And it's kind of funny, but it's about a quarter of before I play.
Okay.
I'll get a shot of tequila.
Uh-oh.
I go wash my hands, and I'm ready to play.
So shot of tequila, wash your hands. That's a pretty simple ritual.
It is.
But in the mind, you're doing something. You're setting that mind up.
I am.
Nice. That's because when you're on stage, I mean, I've seen you, I don't know how many times, not as many as Cece for sure, but I've definitely seen you enough to go, I don't see a nervous player, you know. I do see your humility, you know, you're not that arrogant lead singer, right? So like when I'm working with you, I always want to sort of like push you up front, right? I'm like, put you in the limelight a little bit, and you're like, I just want to play the fucking guitar, and I'm like, you get to the limelight. But you know, it doesn't seem like nerves. It just seems like I'm humble, right? And I just want to lick this guitar, right? And I've seen you with the sunglasses on, just like, you know, and you just lay back, and then it just comes time for the solo, and you're just like, you can't help it. I mean, I don't even need to push you forward, because people are like, oh. And they just look at you, right? Especially that I was filming you at Rock and Brews when I sang with you. I think before I came up, I just filmed you with my camera on this solo. It was just like everyone was just gathered around, and you were like, and you didn't even care. Like, I don't even know what you knew. I don't even know if you knew I was filming or what. You were just like, rah. And it was like, that's the kind of transcendent sort of moment that I keep seeking, you know, and that I think is the sort of point of it, you know.
Right. That Cece knows, because she'll tell people he's gone.
Yeah.
He's not here with us.
That is cool.
But
I mean, and that's how I used to describe, you know, I used to do poetry. It was like, when I was the best, it was when I would just step out of my own way, you know? And the poem's just sort of happening. There's this poem happening and this body moving. And I'm like having a conversation about lunch over here.
Right.
It's cool. It's cool. And it's like, we were talking in performance workshop this weekend about, well, what's the job when you're on stage? It's not to be good, right? That's what gets you all tied up and nervous, is trying to be good. But the job is really just to connect. To communicate, you know, which is awesome how with music, especially with playing the guitar, you can communicate without words. Well, I think you said that right at the beginning. You can say whatever you want, and you can say things that just aren't possible to say
Right.
with a word.
Right. I'm not a person with a lot of words either, so.
No, you're not. I mean, you're a great interview, but yeah, you know, in life, you're just even, you know, you don't yak and yak like me. But that's the cool thing, and that's why you collaborate. You know, you find somebody who's a master at their deal, and then who's different than you, and then you.
Right.
It's yeah. So let me look at the time because I actually care about how long this podcast goes. Larry cares too, but okay. So here's what I want to know, and is just the simple stuff. Website, where can we find you? What are you doing right now? What's your, you know, like, what do you want people to go look at right now online? And then we'll put that stuff on the page too.
Okay. I'm on Facebook. There's the Underground Cadence page, and there's the Disanti Al Brujo page.
Right.
That might be all merged into one sometime over the winter, but for now there's the two pages. Website Disanti Nava with Wix. I can't think of the whole thing right now, but
We'll put it on the page. We'll find it. We'll link it.
okay. Let's see. Tonight I'm playing a duo with Keisha Cotton.
Which is a sick singer, by the way.
She's awesome. Tomorrow we're playing the band Underground Cadence at the Mineshaft Tavern.
Oh, cool.
And then Saturday, Underground Cadence will be at Route 66. And then in December, El Brujo Trio is going to play a concert at the San Miguel Mission in Santa Fe.
Nice.
So,
Okay, so that's a lot of stuff going on.
yeah.
Cool. So, it occurs to me to ask about just cultural heritage, because I think it's really important around here, you know. And we have in New Mexico, we have this sort of trifecta of cultures that mash together. We have the
Right.
Hispanic culture, and we have the Native culture, and we have the white culture, and which is that a culture? I don't
Right.
you know, it is. There is. I mean, I don't buy into the fact that the idea that, you know, quote unquote, white people don't have a culture in America. I mean, yes, we have different heritages, and saying you're white is kind of weird because, I'm a German. What am I? But we also do, and all of us as Americans have this sort of mashup culture, which is unique. And there is kind of actually an American thing, obviously.
Right.
But in New Mexico, we're actually really tuned into our other heritages. I mean, not necessarily us white guys. I know that I'm Irish and English, but that's about it. But, you know, I know you have Native, right? You're Native.
I have Native. My dad was from Guanajuato, Mexico.
Nice.
My mom, from what I understand, there's a little bit of French in there somewhere. I don't know a lot about that.
Wow. Nice.
But what I carry really is a lot of the Mexican and Native with me.
Nice. And you can see that, I can definitely see that on Facebook, but you can see that in the music too. You know, especially with playing flamenco and stuff, but even when you're playing the old rock and roll, I don't know how to describe, and I kind of want, maybe you can, how there's just this other thing, you know, that we have in New Mexico that just gets infused. It's a little bit.
It's Latin.
Yeah.
Latin rock I love it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You were in a Santana tribute band for a little bit, weren't you?
I was for a short time, yeah.
That must have been a little interesting.
It was fun because Santana's my hero.
Yeah.
So when I grow up, maybe I'll play like him.
Yeah. Well, you got time. You got plenty of time. So that infuses, I mean, that's just, I know what it is. It's just like this notion of kind of magic. Like in New Mexico, you know, it can get kind of fuzzy bunny and crystal in it, but it can also, there's real sort of history with the curanderos and, you know,
Right.
You know, and you definitely have that in your life. I know because Cece is just, she's like a healer, and she has this.
Yes.
She's an amazing. We should interview her too, actually, because she has this. And I don't know the whole story, but I there's what I know of her is just this crazy mix of interesting shit.
Oh, yeah.
We should definitely. I'll bring the gear out and we'll get her on tape if we can.
Yeah, that'd be a great interview.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just amazing. That's a great idea. I don't know. You know, that seems like to me where we should leave it, except for kind of just what Larry likes to do this, just ask what you're listening to right now, what music is popping out for you right now.
Right now, a lot of Johannes Lindstedt.
Oh God, you're gonna have to write that down later for me so I can check it out, and we'll put it on the website because I've never heard of that. What is that?
It's a type of like Nuevo Flamenco,
Okay,
and he's amazing.
nice.
That's right now is my favorite. I like Oscar Lopez.
Nice.
I seem to, and my sister even said, no matter what I'm playing, I always gravitate back to that. So,
Nice.
Gypsy Kings.
Oh, I love them.
Oh yeah, they're
I love
great.
them. They played in a venue that I was doing sound at. I mean, it was a 2-story venue, so I was actually doing sound downstairs, and they were upstairs. But I got to see them warming up and all that, and doing their sound check.
That's
They're
awesome.
so good.
They are good.
That's
They're
insane.
great. I love them.
Nice.
That's because I do want to go back and record more, and hopefully before the year is up, I want to record something, but it's a little more bluesy. And that's going to be called the El Brujo Blues.
Nice.
And then
Nice. I love
Cece has all these plans for me, and then I'm going to follow up with more Nuevo Flamenco
Nice.
and just kind of, just keep plugging away and playing.
Plugging away. All right, it's DeSanti Nava. You can find them at Facebook, Underground Cadence. We'll put the link on the website, so go check that out. If you're on iTunes or YouTube or something, we'll put it on the YouTube too. Larry, I just promised something. And so thanks a lot for talking to us, DeSanti. I don't know if I've really cut us short or not. I feel like we had a good conversation, and I want to fucking stop so we can rehearse and do some work together because I love playing with this guy. So see you later, guys. Woo!
Yeah, thank you.
I might as well just go yell at Churchy for tearing my sticker down.
All right.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah, that was an interview with DeSanti.
Incredible.
Incredible. Sounds cool. Now I want to go listen to more DeSanti guitar work. There he is. I'll have some links to some music and Aaron Trum stuff. And thank you to Aaron Trum and Enquit Records.
Thanks, Aaron.
Actually, it's Enquit Music now. I'm like in the Stone Ages.
You
Changed that name like 10 years ago, but he's never going to quit.
It's 21st century.
Enquit Music.
It's 21st century, dude.
21st. The 21st. All right. That was episode 28. Thank you. See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Twisted Pop Podcast. For show notes, go to twistedpop.com/podcast. Merchandise at bigmyth.com. That's big-myth.com. In association with nquit.com. Until next time, this is the Twisted Pop